30 trillion coming into crypto, and trust me, they don't want this to happen until they can profit over it. In today's video, we're going to break down how Gary Gensler really doesn't want cryptocurrency in the ecosystem. And then we're going to break down how 30 trillion could be flooding into the markets in 2024 and beyond. And that could make you very, very wealthy. So in this video, I'm going to break that down. And on the back end, I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing and how we transition from being broke to taking a very speculative asset and securing, compounding, and growing it. And the next cycle, 2024 to 2025, is generational wealth building. The key is most lottery winners go broke 85%. Most pro athletes go broke. The reason why is they don't rewire the foundation to end up in a different situation. Rich parents have rich kids, poor parents have poor kids. It's all about rewiring the foundation and understand what money is. It's energy, it's frequency, and it's currency. The middle class and the working poor put their money in a bank to pay their bills. That's money. The bank turns it into currency, and that's what we've teached hundreds of people taught hundreds of people since May, since we got licensed. I've been using Index Universal Life since 2020. I got licensed in May, and we've helped hundreds of people already understand how we secure, compound, and insure our wealth. You can set up a free consultation with my life insurance team in the description of this video. There's also a free 16-page guide that shows you exactly how my blueprint is set up, which I bring up on the back end of every single video. And I'm just going to let you guys know we're actually bringing our academy private. So I'll be making an announcement here. We have it open. Our academy is going back to private, how we originally did that. And so you'll be able to interview with our team to ask questions to dive a little bit deeper. And that will be announced probably by tomorrow. But let's dive right into it. So let's first listen to Gary Gensler. And we know he is extremely against cryptocurrency. Now, for him, my opinion, right? This is all political for him, right? He is all about moving into his political positions. In 2012, he was part of the FOMC, which is a Future Oversight Committee. Gary Gensler was a head professor at MIT for cryptocurrency, which is ironic, right? And he also was the head of the CFTC, the Commodities Future Trading. I can't remember the other acronym on that. But now he's the head of the SEC. So remember, Jay Clayton initiated the case against Ripple around XRP being a security. Then he transitioned into consulting for cryptocurrency firms, which he still does now. Jay Clayton sits on the board for the Bank Bailing Committee. So they moved Gary Gensler, the head professor for MIT for crypto, into the SEC position. And it's just been a shitstorm of cases that he's thrown out against cryptocurrency, right? But they're getting battered this year, knocked at the knees every single time. So this lady, they're at a congressional hearing. She starts asking questions around cryptocurrency, and he kind of gets snotty if you watch the whole interview. But I want you to listen to what he says, and then I'm going to share with you how Grayscale shares that 30 trillion could be coming into this market. 2024 is going to be one of the most historical years. 2024 to 2025, you have to prepare. This is our Super Bowl, family.
And obviously, the commission and the staff of the commission is still hard at work on a number of issues. One of them dealing with a number of filings of spot Bitcoin ETFs. You know, Mr. Chair, I have to ask you this question. There's been a lot.
I suspected we did something very significant about the $26 trillion treasury market, which is really the base of our entire capital markets. It's how we fund our government. It's how our Federal Reserve does monetary policy. It's how we maintain the dollar dominance around the globe. And you want to ask me about crypto?
In my defense,
So listen to that. Look at him. Okay. He just said it though, 26 trillion. And then as Grayscale is going to talk about 33 trillion coming into the market. And he's like, you want to talk about crypto? Yes, she wants to talk about crypto. Everybody wants to talk about crypto. We know everything's getting tokenized and we know you're playing games. Absolutely. We want to talk about crypto. We want to know what you guys are doing behind the scenes and switching the monetary system.
Commissioner Ueda also brought up crypto in this open meeting.
Priorities. I mean, the U.S. Treasury market is a very consequential, very important market. Crypto securities are not only much smaller, it's not how we fund our government. It's not how we conduct monetary policy. And for many investors, they've been harmed in that market. And they're being harmed because there's too much non-compliance.
Gotcha. But this system has protected Americans and the middle class. When the middle class is buried in debt, they can't even pay their bills. We taught them to leverage themselves, their future selves, by borrowing against themselves in the American dream. The average American retires with $300,000. The wealthy keep getting wealthier. The 1% in the wealth gap keeps increasing dramatically since 1971. We got you. We got you. You're just upset because there's a new even playing field where the normal everyday person can get involved.
It's not just non-compliance with securities laws, it's non-compliance with a raft of other laws. Our sister regulator in the market space, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the U.S. Department of Treasury, and Financial Crimes Enforcement. But again, I do ask, and if you look at the focus and the priorities, the U.S. Treasury market and what we did today is really quite important to our capital markets.
Absolutely.
So he avoids a question. I like this lady. She comes back and says, we still need to talk about it, dude. Like, avoid. Like, this gentleman, Gary Gensler, avoids all the congressional hearing questions. He dances around it every single time. That should give you a hint, guys. When they push back so hard on something, that means there's something coming. I played this game for years now. I do the opposite inversion. Now check this out. She pushes back. I'm proud of her.
Absolutely, and that's why we have discussed it, but you are actively engaging with a number of matters related to crypto specifically. So I think, sir, this is fair game, especially when you are having staff with meeting with a number of issuers in recent days.
I'm glad that you at least now agree that the priorities were more to the Treasury market. So what is your question about?
She didn't agree to anything, you narcissist. Sorry. That's crazy. Like, she didn't agree. He says, did you hear him? Now that I'm glad that you agree that she didn't say anything that she agreed.
Bitcoin?
Or maybe she did. I might have missed it, but maybe my ego was kicking in there.
We've seen in recent days SEC staff engaging with issuers of a number of which have filed for spot ETFs. We've seen a number of amendments to those filings. It seems that market participants in crypto have a sense that we are reaching the end stages here. Typically, is this kind of engagement with the SEC not prejudging anyone filing, but the level of engagement we are seeing signifying of things getting easier, closer to resolving, or things getting more difficult?
Again, we have, I think, somewhere between 8 and a dozen filings in front of this agency with regard to exchange-traded products around Bitcoin. And the staff of the various divisions respond when market participants have filings. We also had a court case earlier this fall in this regard. And so we do things according to our authorities and how courts interpret our authorities. And that's what we'll do here as well.
I think you're referring there to the Grayscale case. Just one final question.
That you lost. Okay, so let's dive into that. So he's basically they're just buying time, guys. That's just my opinion, just my personal opinion. They're buying time so that they can get their claws in this, guys. But here's the benefit. If you can get rid of the greed gene and you can have an exit plan, and the fact that it is an extremely speculative asset, this is not a retirement strategy, guys. When people say, "Oh, you know, I'm going to retire," you're going to retire off crypto if you properly pull profits and you properly secure, compound, and grow in real wealth builders, right? Cryptocurrency, until it's got its own legs underneath it, the volatility is going to wreck people, guys. But I'm excited about it. I've made a great amount of money. It's helped me quite a bit, and I'm going to make a great amount of money in 2024 to 2025, but I'm also going to secure, compound, and grow. Now we're going to listen to Grayscale. It's about a 4-minute video, but I want you guys to hear all the context of this, and I'll narrate a little bit of this. So they're talking to Grayscale around the Bitcoin ETF.
For a look at the crypto industry heading into the new year, Michael Sonnenschein, Grayscale CEO. We got a crypto super PAC trying to get things done. Maybe that's what's needed to get Congress to finally do something. Michael, you part of this?
So that was actually just announced this morning. You know, for us at Grayscale over the last year, we've spent, I can't even tell you how many weeks on the Hill, really ensuring that we're advocating for our investors and making sure that as our regulators are looking at crypto, they're doing so through a really informed lens. So for us, it's really been more about education.
Well, you think the easy gains have been made? People couldn't figure out what was happening with Bitcoin. Was it moved from 25 to, I think it almost got to 45 at one point. But now, you know, we're talking about 41,000. Even gold, I think, was trying to get through 2,100, and it failed in trying to do that. This was all interest rate related and pivot related.
Remember, guys, I've been telling you interest rates. It's all going to be interest rate related next year, too, when they lower these interest rates. Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin ETF, lower interest rates on the back end, and get ready for that parabolic move. But you got to pull profits.
And the perception that maybe the Fed eases next year with some cuts. When does it refocus on a spot ETF? And do you expect that to get things moving again?
Well, I think if you look back at this year, the price appreciation you've seen in Bitcoin has really been driven by both the macro and micro forces. I think you're right on the macro front. Inflationary pressures, rising rates have caused investors to think about Bitcoin as a store of value or, a hedge in their portfolios. But on the micro front, earlier this summer when my team had our court victory, I think that certainly unlocked a lot of optimism amongst investors.
And that's why Gary Gensler didn't want to talk about it to that lady. He's like, where's your priorities at? Because he's getting stomped. The SEC is getting stomped around cryptocurrency.
About GBTC and the prospects for it to uplist as a spot Bitcoin ETF. So as we turn the corner into the new year, I know there's a lot of focus on that from the investment community.
The 65,000, 100,000. I don't know what you think it is in the cards, but what do you think it's already in the asset right now? If you want to call it an asset, is it already there? Once it happens, do you expect it to go to new highs, or it just seems like we've already paid a lot of it forward with the move we saw from? I mean, it was as low as 17,000 this year.
Sure. Well, Joe, I'm not one to make price predictions, but I do think there is a lot of optimism again in the market. I think a lot of investors are adding Bitcoin to their portfolios. And when we look ahead to the hopeful approval for spot Bitcoin ETFs, it really is going to unlock the opportunity to a part of the investment community that, for better or worse, but I would say for worse, has unfortunately been locked out of the opportunity to participate in having Bitcoin exposure in their portfolios. So we're really talking about the advised market here in the US, which is today about $30 trillion worth of advised wealth that we hope the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs, the uplisting of GBTC, will allow for that opportunity and for those investors to partake in it as well.
Boom. That's exactly why. That's the tie-in I wanted you guys to hear. That's exactly why Gary Gensler didn't want to talk about it. He said it. He said 26 trillion. He said about 30 trillion, guys. 30 trillion. Gary Gensler doesn't want that unlocked until they can get their arms in it, guys. That's it. But that's going to get unleashed. That's why they're holding off. They're holding off. They're holding off. When that Bitcoin when the Bitcoin ETFs get approved, Grayscale, BlackRock, guys, man, it is going to be front page news. It's going to put institutional investors in there. Okay, so let's talk strategy. Well, let's show you Super PAC really quick. This is what they were talking about. This is the crypto Super PAC network that goes into 2024. So 75 million as it aims to influence elections. So there's a Super PAC really focused on cryptocurrency, guys. It's here. This is a Super Bowl. It's not this crazy speculative asset. It is a speculative asset right now, but it's becoming extremely legitimized, guys. It's going from a pet rock. It's going from money laundering, Larry Fink, to a flight to safety, guys. We're here. Okay. Now we got to get disciplined. We have to get, this is like the NFL. This is like the Super Bowl. And this is your practice. The Super Bowl is April to 2025. Okay. Now, why do I say that? Okay. You're going to have a Bitcoin ETF get approved. Okay. That's going to cause probably some price appreciation, I would assume, right? It's going to be national news, worldwide news. Then you're going to have the Bitcoin halving. Don't quote me on this. Someone comment down below. Maybe April 20th, I think. April 20th, right? And I think it's about 90 days after the Bitcoin halving, it goes parabolic. But with the Bitcoin ETF being approved and the halving happening, it could just create a massive parabolic move. Then macroeconomic, I'm the macroeconomic guy. You're going to see an interest rate decrease on the back end of 2024 due to the economy getting smashed. That's going to cause hyperinflation in our assets. So it means it's called parabolic. So assets, cryptocurrency specifically, because it's so speculative, is going to go straight up. Houses are going to go straight up, right? So if you're in the process of buying a house, probably a good time to get into a house right now, even with interest rates being higher. Get in now and then refinance if interest rates go down. That's what I'm doing, right? So that's what I did. I bought, and then I'm going to refinance when interest rates go down instead of waiting for the interest rates to go down and then hyperinflation shoots your house through the roof that you want to buy. Okay, so that stuff is going to go straight up. Now, here's the thing. You have to pull profits, guys, because somebody has to be the exit liquidity. Every single one of you has to go into Merlin and set up your exit plan. It's 30 days completely free, guys. Completely free for 30 days. You can try it. You can practice. You can see what an exit plan is. You can go to our FAQs. You can watch the videos on exit plans. You can reach out to customer service. Okay. You set up your exit plan. So what does mine look like? I'm exiting 50% of the market long-term. I'm going to repeat this on every video because what you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. And I would rather be judged and here in about a year from now, be like, thank God that I had an exit plan. Because guys, what goes up will come down. It will come down hard. Okay. Remember, institutions are coming in. Somebody has to be their prophet. It's going to be most of the public. Okay. So it's going to go straight up. And I'll be laddering out on the way up of 50%. Example, if Xrp goes to $3.70, I'll exit 10% of my portfolio. If it goes to $5 to $7, I'll exit 15%, right? On up. And if it doesn't hit my targets, I don't exit and I hold, right? And then I hold 50% long term. Then when I poll, I'm max funding index universal life policies. I have my policy set up. I'll max fund those policies. And then once they're max funded, I'll open up new policies. For me, I like securing my principal and I like getting those market-like returns with the knowing that if it's set up properly, I can borrow against my policy. So I have access to the cash as well. So instead of storing my money in a bank, I store it in an insurance policy and I insure my wealth in tax code 7702. Then we have business, information technology, and attention. We continue to expand. I believe business is one of the quickest ways to wealth. It's helped me get there. And then we have precious metals. So I'm in silver. I'm going to be getting into gold very soon here. And then real estate. I'm going to be stacking real estate. So it's something each quarter, I'm going to be focused on getting more real estate. That's going to be my goal for tax liabilities tax liabilities too. I'm not really worried about the doors because that's why I wasn't attracted to real estate until I got educated. I wasn't educated in it. So I was like, oh, well, why would I go get a bunch of properties and make $200 off a door when I can open up a company and, increase it to, make $300,000 a year in profit, right? And open up another company, bring in $200,000 a year in profit. And I can increase my earned income pretty dramatically through business, right? Especially with innovation and technology. So then somebody educated me like, dude, then I got my tax bill and I'm like, what? They like, you need real estate. Then I got my first property and I had really nice decrease based on interest income. So now I need rentals because now I know you can depreciate. And I'm speaking from baby knowledge, right? So I know that it's a depreciating asset. I can depreciate it. I can write off the interest income. And then I might make some money off the doors, right? And then if something happens or something breaks, I get to write all that stuff off. So instead of parking my money in a bank account to pay my taxes, I'm going to park my money in real estate and then see how that mitigates my taxes. So those are all the things that I'm doing. I'm excited. Again, our academy is going to be going private. So you have to interview to get into our academy. So we'll make that announcement tomorrow. So if you're not part of our academy, we are all launching January 2024. So by tomorrow, you'll be able to set up an interview with one of my team members and they'll show you exactly what we do inside the academy. We've helped over 8,000 people worldwide radically transform their life. So we're going to bring in on 100 people as we go into January 2024. We're all going to launch together in our 120-day challenge. So it will radically transform your life, guys. Over 1,200 testimonials, over 8,000 people have gone through the academy and they've radically transformed their life through my 120 challenge. So stay tuned for that. You'll be able to actually physically talk to one of our team members. They'll show you exactly what we offer. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. And as we always say, warriors rise. Again, Merlin, 30 days for free. Go down the description, download it. All of you guys should have Merlin set up. Practice your exit strategy and get ready for your Super Bowl. Talk to you soon.